Guess who's back? Back again. Aileen's back. Tell your friends. Welcome back to Reboot Your Thoughts podcast. Yes, I am finally back. I have to apologise. I've been off sick for a long time. I say a long time. I don't know how many weeks it's been. 6, 8, something. So today's episode is about where have I been and what did it bleep happen to Aileen. Strap yourselves in. So obviously this podcast is all about mental health, making sure you are all taking care of your mental health, and I have just had to take a break to take care of my mental health. You all know, obviously I'm a counsellor, I am a coach, I'm a mum, I'm a daughter, I'm a friend, very good friend, a bit of everything. Help everybody, do everything I can for everybody. And obviously you all know I have had my own mental health journey for almost 30 years. Could actually be 30 years if you believe my mum, but let's just say almost. I had a few things happen to me at the end of last year, which I'm not ready to talk about yet. I will tell you all about it in the future, probably in the near future, but just at the minute it's not quite the time. I'm not doing my usual setup. I'm sitting on the couch just now, so if there's a bit of background noise, I'm sorry. I'm trying to position myself so that I don't move my mic too much. So I was, like I said, a few things happened at the end of last year. There's been a lot going on in the background for that whole 30 years. Things that I've been locking away, hiding away, thinking about daily, but also running away from it. There has been a lot of procrastinating in the sense of not dealing with the things that I should be dealing with. Now I know I'm the expert, tell you to deal with things, but this is more a personal thing that it has to be dealt with at the right time, and if you deal with it when you're not ready to deal with it, it can cause issues. But also if you let it go on for too long, it can cause issues, which is what's just happened to me. So I had a massive burnout because, like I said, I was procrastinating, so I was doing too much of one thing to try and run away from the other thing. So I've been trying to find a house. Like, I was on the website every 2 minutes I had spare to see if there was any new houses. Now I'm talking 20 times a day. If anybody knows me, if it's something that I want done yesterday, I will be obsessed. I will obsessively take control of that situation. I was studying because I'm trying to add new things into my business. I was rebranding my business. I was building a new website. I was doing 3 podcasts. I was being a mum, fighting my for school because my son's got additional support needs and wasn't getting his needs met. I was trying to help my older son with things that he was maybe trying to deal with as well, and my mum had multiple strokes last year, and yeah, you get it. There was a lot. This isn't a pity party, by the way. This is just me explaining to you why I disappeared off the face of the earth for X amount of time. Now, I've not even really been on social media, and I did go on, when was it, 2 or 3 weeks ago, and said, oh, I'm back and I'm going to put a podcast out that week, and I didn't do it because, again, I wasn't quite ready and I was trying to put a face on. By the way, I still don't have a new house. Can I just say, we'll just drop that bombshell in there as well. Although I do potentially have a landlord, but they don't have a house for me yet. Welcome to Aileen's world. Listen, you couldn't make up half the stuff that goes on in my head, in my world, in my life, in my day-to-day routine. And I've got to laugh because see if I don't laugh at the minute, I'll probably burst out crying. I'll be in tears. They won't stop. I can feel the water. Do you know that when your eyes start to water? I can feel that water. So, yeah, I have tried to avoid having another mental breakdown, which my last bad one, should I say, was 12 years ago. Actually 12 years ago this month, my last one, where my GP wanted me hospitalised. I didn't. I fought against it. And thankfully they listened and I didn't get hospitalised that time. And what happened was they got the crisis team. If anybody knows what the crisis team is, then you know how they work. If you don't know, then it's basically a mental health team that come out and check you daily just to make sure you don't do anything to yourself or to others. And obviously if you do get worse or whatever, then they're like, you're getting into hospital now, and there's no two ways about it. So I had the mental health team come out to me for a while, the crisis team, sorry, but like I said, that was 12 years ago this month, which by the way, this month is never a very good month. So I've got a couple of months that aren't very great for me. So obviously May isn't a great month because that's, yeah, things happened. December, January is never a great month for me. More January than December, but now we're adding December in because we now have last December to deal with. I think they're really the only months that are bad for me at the minute. Yeah, I would say so. Round about that time. So anyhow, so I do want to apologise for anybody, especially, and I'm not saying anybody that wasn't an avid listener, doesn't mean as much to me, but obviously I have people that they were listening to the podcast as soon as it went online. They were there every week, they were commenting or whatever else, or following me on social media or following me on Amazon or wherever you were following me. I want to say thank you. I hope you are still here. If you're not still here, I understand, but I do hope that eventually they come back or you come back. If you're a new listener, welcome. You've probably walked into this or fell into this podcast and like, what the hell? Anyhow, I'm normally a lot more cheerier than this. I'm normally a lot stronger, a lot bubblier. I sing a lot. I say sing. Other people wouldn't describe it as singing. I say it's singing. So if I say it's singing, okay? Okay, yeah? So, what's happening now? So at the minute, I am working through what's going on in my head, what's going on in my personal life. I'm trying to figure out if I'm on the right medication. I am going for hospital appointments, not for my mental health but for other things. So I went for a scan last week because one hip's swollen. What else has happened? I've burnt myself many times. I've cut myself many times. Not intentionally, just to say I wasn't self-harming, but I've got friends that will, and also a mother who would agree to this. I'm dangerous in the kitchen. I can be just washing dishes and end up in A&E because I've done something to myself, or I'm just taking the dinner out the oven, or out the worst one for it just now is the air fryer. I have so many burns by trying to take food out the air fryer. Anybody else? Just me? Okay. And I know I'm going back and forth here, but if anybody knows anything about mental health, you'll know that when somebody's not fully mentally stable, they go back and forth, and you just need to roll with it. Just let me be. I'm trying to figure the best way to tell you this, because obviously none of my podcasts are ever scripted. Sometimes I will have facts and figures and whatever else beside me, but I never script a podcast. I will write down what I want to talk about. Can you hear the birds chirping? They're happier than me. I I'll write down some notes maybe about, or pointers of things that I want to talk about, because I'm blonde and I can forget what I'm trying to say, you know. Also, if you're a new listener, in case you've not noticed, I'm Scottish, so if you need subtitles, I'm sorry. I do try and tone down the Scottishness every now and again, but it just comes out. It's just there. I'm sorry. I try my best. So maybe we should make this season 3, episode 1, season 3. What do we think? Or will we just I think we should make this a season. This is the start of new things. Fresh start. Not a fresh start. And continuation. So, again, if you are a new listener, my name is Aileen. I'm based in Glasgow. Although my work is available worldwide because it can be done via internet. I am a counsellor, private counsellor. I am a business coach, life coach and wellness coach. Any kind of coach. I can help you with anything to do with your everyday life, where you might need some tips, pointers, a wee bit of support. Says me, who's just nearly had another breakdown. But listen, Linda, it's alright. We're getting there. Listen, I'm absolutely fine. I've said it to you many times. Because I have gone through this journey for almost 30 years, or about 30 years. I now know when I need to take a step back. I know when I need to go and see my GP. I know when I need to revisit certain things or relook. As you can see, my vocabulary is not great at the minute, but again, that's because neither's my head. So I do know when I need to take time out, and don't get me wrong, I don't just abandon my clients, don't worry. If you're a regular client, then you still get your appointments and whatever else. I just wasn't taking on any new clients recently. Obviously I haven't done any of my podcasts. I haven't been on social media. I've just been trying to spend time with my boys and my best friend. I mean, I can't spend time with her because she lives in Turkey, because she's just rude. She abandoned us all, and that's a joke. So me and Danielle have been on the phone about 500 times a day, which we always are anyway, but yeah. I've been laying down the law. I say that as a joke. I've been cutting out toxic people from my life, namely family members. Again, this will all come out at some point, but I just don't feel ready to talk about it as yet. And I say I cut out toxic family members, it's actually only a couple of them, because I don't really talk to many of my family. I literally talk to my mum and dad and my 2 boys, and I think 2 cousins, and that's it. I have a massive family, by the way. But listen, as the old saying goes, you can choose your friends, but you cannot choose your family. Well, some of my friends are now my family, and some of my family are now nothing. Absolutely nothing. Say it again. Hey. No, it's not hey. What's that song? What are you good for? Absolutely nothing. Say it again. Sorry. I've not sang to you for ages if you've missed it. So what's the plan going forward, I hear you ask? I don't know. I'm winging it at the minute. My plan is not to make a plan, because I don't want to let anybody down. So I'm still not taking necessarily any new clients on. I will now start doing the initial phone calls that I give for free. So if anybody is interested in counselling, life coaching, business coaching, wellness coaching, or if you're in Glasgow and you're looking for cupping massage therapy, hot stone massage, or lymphatic drainage, or hot ear candling, we can do the initial phone consultation for all that, and depending on what I think you need and whether I think I'm strong enough for you, because I need to be strong to help you, then that will depend on whether I would take you on straight away or whether it would be maybe 2 weeks down the line, a month down the line. And obviously you're well within your rights to say, I don't want to wait that long, I'll go with somebody else. But the majority of the cases I can take on just now, especially any of the coaching. It's more the counselling. It depends what your needs are within your counselling sessions and what your struggles are, where your issues have stemmed from. That might be something that triggers me at the minute, and if it is, then obviously I don't want to make your issue worse. I also don't want to make my issues worse. So, and I would tell you that. I would be 100% open and honest with you. But yes, hit me up, buttercup. Why don't you build me up, buttercup, baby, just to let me down. Oh, I've missed that. I've missed my singing. I know it's not singing to some people, but I've not even been able to do my carpool karaoke with my son because he's been off for study leave, and now my clutch is gone in my car, so I can't even use my car. I mean, I could just go and sit in it and sing to myself. Like my neighbours think I'm completely off my rocker. I mean, they probably think that already. So, anybody, we could have a Zoom call, couldn't we? We could all do a wee Zoom call together. Yous all pick a song and I'll pick a song and we can all just sing to each other. I mean, some of yous are going to be much better. I mean, most of yous, all of yous are probably going to be much better singers than me, but hey, listen, I don't care. Don't stop me now, I'm having such a good time, I'm having a ball. So my son's going to come in a minute, he's going to start shouting at me about, Mum, you better re-record that because you are not putting out there that you're singing. And I'll just say, sorry, I can't hear you, you're breaking up. So, where did I get to? I know, I'm sorry, I keep chopping and changing, don't I? And again, I've said it to you about, how long have I been talking for? I think I said it to you about 10 minutes ago. This is part of mental health. This is part of, you can't stay focused when your mental health is low. You can't stay focused, or when you're leaving yourself vulnerable, you might chop and change back and forth about what you're saying because you don't want to leave yourself too vulnerable. You don't want to really put yourself out there. But in order for me to be honest, I need to put myself out there, don't I? And I get it's all strangers, but if I want somebody to come to me and let them know that I'm going to understand and whatever else, then I need to show you that vulnerable side of me as well. I'm not just the person that listens, I'm also the person that feels. I'm also the person that's gone through the motions, still going through the motions. And I say this to you, listen, I say this on probably every episode of the podcast, or near enough. Doesn't matter how long you have been going through your mental health journey, it doesn't matter how long you've been on a steady road, if you want to put it like that. It will just take one thing that will affect you and trigger you and set you back. Now, doesn't mean to say it's going to set you away back to the very beginning. It doesn't mean to say it's going to set you back to a point where you are going to harm yourself or harm anybody else, or you're going to need hospitalised, or even necessarily go back on medication if you're already off it, or even need your medication changed. But you need to know the signs, and you need to know when you're starting to go downhill again. And if you could recognise the signs early enough, that's amazing. That just shows how strong you are and how far of a journey you've come on. Now, not to say that because you don't recognise the signs you're not strong and you haven't come on anywhere in your journey. It just means that you potentially haven't had the signs enough times or many times for you to notice it. Maybe you're good at hiding it from yourself and from others. I think especially women, and I don't mean this against men, hear me out, especially women, because will feel this, what I'm about to say. So I know that you can get it when you're maybe premenstrual, things like that. So do you know that feeling where on the inside you feel as if you're absolutely broken, you're crying almost on the inside, but on the outside you're like, what the fuck are you crying for on the inside? Because on the outside I look happy. Yeah, that can be a sign. Not to say, I mean, that could just be that you're feeling a wee bit emotional that day. But for me, it doesn't just go on for a day, it goes on for weeks or months or years. But hey ho, we are on the road to recovery. And I think the fact that I've came on to record this podcast and left myself so open just shows that I'm making steps to go forward. I'm trying to get back to normality. I'm trying to get back to work on a full-time basis. And I'm trying to rectify a few things in my life. I just wish I had a magic wand. I say this all the time. I normally say it about mental health in general for everybody. I wish I had a magic wand. I could just wave that magic wand and make everybody's bad mental health disappear and everybody would be in a good frame of mind. Yes, that would mean I'd be out of work. I would find another job. But I would love for everybody to be happy and live a healthy, happy life and not have these trials. Because another thing as well, that if you have been through your mental health journey, or if you are going through it just now, you'll know it's a lonely place. And it's not because you think that, well, in a sense you do think that nobody else is going through it. We always think that nobody feels how we are feeling, because that's our feelings, that's our thoughts. But it's not as if everybody gets together for a cup of coffee and a cup of tea or a glass of wine or whatever and says, do you know what, I feel absolute shit today and my mental health's in the gutter. And then the person sitting next to you goes, oh my god, me too. You don't get that. Whereas when everybody's happy, or at least portraying themselves as being happy, you see that around all the time, don't you? And I think sometimes you see it more when you're feeling down, because it's almost as if that's all you can see around about you. But that's not that's not a true case. That's not actually how life is. Like, there's going to be multiple people feeling the way you're feeling round about you. You're just not seeing them because maybe they're not going out, or maybe they're at an appointment. Maybe they're not going to the same places you're going to, because maybe where you're going it's busy, the surroundings are busy, and they don't feel comfortable in that situation because they could break down in tears at any time. Maybe they're at work, maybe they're in their bed, like maybe they're in hospital getting help, getting treatment. I don't know. And I'm not here to say you should be looking out for people that are unhappy, because you won't see that. It's very rare. We will all put a face on when we're outside. Everybody puts a face on outside because they don't want anybody to say, are you okay? Because that's another thing. The minute somebody shows you a bit of empathy, sympathy, care, it makes you feel worse sometimes, and you do break down. And again, we don't want to leave ourselves open, do we? What can we do? It's just life. But it's about getting the right help. Anyhow, I feel as if I am talking very slow. I think I should just... What song can I sing these next? Oh my goodness, I'm just looking at the telly and it's How Do I Live Without You? That's not the best song for me to listen to now. Not that anybody's passed away. Well, they did, but not... Here we go. That's another thing. One of my oldest friends did pass away. We had her funeral 2 weeks ago. That was another reason why I was... I think that was the week I was supposed to come back and do a podcast, and it was the week before that, and then I thought, no, I'm waiting till after that funeral because I can't. Because again, when somebody passes away that's close to you, although I haven't spoke to for a long time, and that's another story, that wasn't intentional, but that was other people's doing, but although I hadn't spoken to that person for a long time, we had so many memories, and every memory was a good memory. I don't have a bad memory about that person. And she was the life and soul of the party, and yeah, it's just it. I think it hits harder when somebody's younger. So she was a year older than me, and I know some of you out there are a lot younger than me, so you'll be like, well, that is old. Actually, no, it's not. Listen, Linda, I'm not old, okay? It doesn't matter what my sons tell you. It doesn't matter what the internet might say I'm middle-aged. Don't listen to it. It tells lies. I'm just young. Young at heart. Do. Who remembers that song? Fair making up for it, Anna. So, yeah, there's always something else that's thrown in the mix, isn't it? And it's how you deal with it. And oh my goodness, I forgot to turn my phone off. Give me 2 seconds. I am back. My son sent me a screenshot of deliveries. I swear this boy thinks I'm his PA. He sends me a picture every day of, well, not every day, but whenever he's got a delivery coming, he'll send me a picture. Make sure I'm listening for the door, or probably just to make sure that I stay in the house that day, to make sure that his parcel doesn't disappear. I made your parcel disappear. What was that? I don't know. Oh, that was at Home Alone, wasn't it? I made my family disappear. Well, some people would say if only. I'm sorry, I've got to make a joke of it. And if Helen's listening, Helen, just laugh, Hen. It's alright. Don't worry about it. I'll make them disappear from my life. So don't disappear for your life. So yes, I have not quite gone off my rocker, but I think my dad thought I was the other day. I put a post. Why did we do that? We always put aimed posts at people when we're angry instead of just going and saying to them, but it's because this person I was putting the post up about, yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter. I'll tell you about it later. It's part and parcel of the story that I'm going to tell you later down the line, so I'm not ready to talk about it just now. But I put a post up and it was basically saying that I was deleting certain family members from my life. Listen, I can be as much of a bitch as anybody else. Don't get it twisted. But I'm a nice person at heart. Please believe me. Anyway, I've just put in a post up for family members to know that and some friends, that I've deleted a few family members off my social media, and there's a reason for that. Obviously I haven't told them the reason because I've not really told anybody, and asking them not to tell them anything about my life because they're deleted for a reason. Not that I really put anything on social media, so I don't even know why I bother putting that up there. I think it was just one of those spur of the moment things. And I just like, and if you dare tell them anything about me or my children, then you will be deleted as well. My phone has never pinged and rang so much in its life than it did that day, because I think everybody thought I was having another mental breakdown. Aileen, what's happened? Aileen, is everything okay? Aileen, what have you done? Aileen, what have you done? I mean, come on, I'm innocent. So that was funny. So then I had to phone my mum, because my mum doesn't do social media, and I says, Mum, just to let you know that you might get a few phone calls saying I'm going off my rocker. She's like, what have you done? Oh, I'm sick of this, I'm getting the blame for it. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. I is innocent, even if I'm not, then I still am. If that doesn't make sense, I don't know what does. So that's my inner thoughts. I'm always innocent and I'm always right. And I used to say this to my ex all the time. Listen, not about the being innocent, because there was no reason to have that conversation, because we never really argued or anything like that. But I used to always say to him, I'm always right. Even when I'm wrong, I'm right. And he's like, of course you are. And then whenever I was right and he was wrong, oh my God, did I throw that in his face? I'm like, I told you I'm always right. And he's like, shut up. Just be quiet, Aileen. There's no need to gloat. I'm rabbiting into. Again, it's about I'm supposed to be telling you where I've been. What have I been up to? Where should we start? How long? Well, we're 31 minutes in and I've actually not really told you yet, have I? I think it probably, like I say, it started a year ago. What age am I? 46 this year? Yeah, I think I was 7. Well, I say my downfall started when I was 17, but I didn't actually show signs of it until straight away. Until the real signs started showing in my early 20s, but it was a long time coming, if that makes sense. And if you work in mental health, or if you know anybody, or if you struggle with your mental health, you know what I mean by that. If you've been lucky enough never to be around anybody or never to experience poor mental health, then what I mean by that is you can lock things away and almost forget about it. And then just one day you might be just sitting thinking about memories. You might just be sitting thinking back about, it could be a holiday or an ex-partner or a night out, work, a job you were on, or I don't know, anything at all. You could just be sitting thinking back in general about the past, the years gone by, if you want to say it like that. And then you'll remember something that happened, and then you start to remember almost like every bad experience or every poor experience you've had. And I don't mean just things like, I don't know, I'm trying to not minimise anything, because what might not be that bad an experience for me could be for somebody else. So let's just say, I'll give you a laugh, right? So this isn't something that triggers me at all, but it could be somebody else. So when I was 16, I used to be I was trained to be a hairdresser. Was I 16? Yeah. Right. Let's take it back. Let's go back to when Aileen left school. Now, if you've not heard the story, Aileen left school just before she turned 16. So that summer, done my last exam, and I don't know if this is the same everywhere, but in Scotland, you need to get what's called a leavers form signed. So basically, you go around all your teachers and they sign your bit of paper to say, yeah, that's fine, because like you've got no books or anything like that. No, how like your textbooks and things, you've got no textbooks or anything to hand in, so that's okay. You don't owe any money, you don't owe any books, or you don't owe anything, whatever. So I went round, got my leavers form signed. I thought I was a bee's knees. Handed it into the office. I swear, see that day, that was the best day of my life. Best day of my life, because I was like, I'm out of here. I hated school. I am intelligent, but I hated school. I hated the school experience. It was very much, there was like bits and pieces of bullying and different things, but not severely bullied, if that makes sense. It was more like taunting and talking behind your back and making stories up. Just the usual horrible, nasty things that kids do and teenagers do and whatever else. And all you wanted was a happy life, and you just wanted a group of friends that you could trust. And I never ever really had that at school. I had a couple of friends, but well, I had quite a lot of friends, but I wouldn't say that I could trust all of them. Maybe one or two, if that. Anyhow, so left school, came home, danced all the way home basically. I mean, I didn't dance, but you know what I mean, skipping all the way home like pure excited. And if you have ever heard any of the stories, I was already introduced to alcohol by that point, and cigarettes and whatever. So yeah, went home, told my mum and dad, I've left school. My mum's like, you've what? I've left school. She's like, you're not leaving school? And I was like, oh, but I am. And I was very headstrong. I said, and I'm like, excuse me, I'm going to be 16 in a couple of weeks and I can do whatever I want. I said that about everything as a teenager. I'll do what I want. It's my body. I'll do what I want. It's my life. Oh, listen, I was horrendous. This is why I'm glad I don't have daughters, because if I had a daughter, nah, you think my mental health's bad now? I'd definitely be in a hospital ward. Yes, I don't think I could cope with a daughter. Anyhow, so we came to the agreement that in order for me to 100% leave school, I had to either have a college placement or a job before we went back. Now, if anybody's listened to this, you'll be sitting giggling away now because you know what I'm about to say, if you've heard this story before. So, I got drunk for 7 weeks, possibly a bit longer, every day, near enough. Oh, lived my best life. And then got a job the week before the schools were meant to go back. First interview, got the job. My mum was fuming because she was like sitting rubbing her hands together thinking that she'd won. She's like, yes, she's not got a job, she's not got a college place, she's going back to school, we've made this pact. And then she came in for work one day and I went, oh, by the way, I've got a job. She's like, what? I said, I've got a job. She's like, doing what? I says, I'm an office junior. So it's basically like you're a skivvy in an office. And it was in a mortgage company. So I think because it was in a mortgage company and everything, she thought, well, that could potentially be a career. Right, okay, that's fine. In actual fact, it wasn't fine. I think, did I last? Now, wait till I think. If I started that in August, so I'm going to say I was there for about 4 weeks, 6 weeks, something like that. Now, in that time, I had been treated like utter garbage. I had been, there was some, how do you explain it? Because it wasn't sexual assault. It might be classed as sexual assault actually. It wasn't sexual abuse. Nothing actually happened, but there was things that were, I suppose they were trying to lay down the groundwork for things to happen. I'm trying to be careful. I don't want sued. I mean, they probably won't remember me. You'll be lucky if they're not even in prison anyway at the minute. So a few things happened with the bosses and whatever. Then I had took, because of what did happen, I was off. Well, it wasn't actually because of that. I was unwell, and I had a few days off. And then they decided to take my full month pay off me because I had a few days off. Please tell me why do these things always happen to me? It's always me it happens to. So I was in my bed one morning and I woke up with the house phone. Who remembers a house phone? The house phone ringing, and I goes and answers the phone, and it's my mum. And I'm like, why are you phoning the house? Where are you? What time is it? And she's like, it's 9:30. I'm like, I'm supposed to be at work. But she went, no, where is your work? And I was like, what? She's like, where is your work? So I told her where my work was. She went up. I don't know what happened in there, right? I don't know that I want to know either. But basically, my mum and I suppose my team leader were in an office arguing. Don't know what else happened. Don't want to know. And the next thing I know, Helen handed my notice in for me, effective immediately. And I'm like, well, you're the one that said that I had to have a job, and it's too late for me to go back to school, so what am I meant to do now? Aileen, teenage Aileen, yeah, she was very mouthy. So then I got another job, and that was alright, but that was only temporary. Somebody was on maternity leave. Finished that, went straight into another job, which was in a hairdresser's, right? So this was the story I was going to get to earlier. So, trying to be a hairdresser, first year junior. I don't know if that's what you call it everywhere else, but your first year in training. So that was fine. The boss was a complete nut job, and I'm sorry, but she was cuckoo. And I know you shouldn't really describe people like that, but it wasn't mental health reasons. She was bonkers. This woman was. Do you know you joke about the cat lady who doesn't have children and she sits in a rocking chair with her cat, stroking her cat? That was her. She had like 7 cats or something, and that was her life. Her and her husband, their cats, and she just doesn't know, she didn't know how to communicate with human beings, only cats. So she would say the most bizarre things, and one of the worst things that she said, I got my friend a job, so one of the other juniors left, the one that was like, she was a year above me, she was already there before me, was she a year or 2 years above me, I can't remember. So she left to go become a nurse, and I got one of my friends for school a job. It's actually my friend for school's cousin. Got her a job because she'd already been doing hairdressing at college. So she came and she started, and then during the summer she was wearing a pair of sandals, but her foot was bleeding, her toe was bleeding because the sandals were rubbing against her toe. And we used to get the bus in together, and I said, I'll wait till we get in. I says, there's a first aid kit, we'll get you a plaster and all that in there. So that was fine. She's sitting in the kitchen, well, in the tea room, putting a plaster on. Do you know that? No, we were 16 at the time, right? She came in and she was like, oh, don't do that in here. Like, for all I know, you could have AIDS or anything. Who says that to anybody, let alone a 16-year-old? Like, really? Is that the first thing that comes out your mouth when you see somebody's hurt themselves? Can you stay away from me, please? You might have AIDS. Like, come on. I know it was the 90s, right, but it wasn't that bad. I have no words about some people. She was another boss that my mum, so I would work late. My friend would work late on a Thursday night, I would work late on a Friday night. My dad would come and pick me up because obviously I'd be getting the bus back myself, and actually I don't think the buses ran by that way at that time of night, but anyway, so my dad would come pick me up, and then every now and again my mum would come pick me up on the Friday as well with my dad. My mum didn't drive, and just argue with my boss because my boss was absolutely off a rocker. So that never lasted long. I actually got the sack for there, but that was because I didn't bow down to their every whim, and I wasn't up their arse. Excuse my French, by the way, but I'm getting my feelings out. This is my therapy. This is welcome to Aileen's therapy session. So I got the sack for there, and I went home and I was pure dancing and I was all excited. My dad's like, what's the matter? And I says, I just got the sack. He's like, he started laughing. He went, Aileen, you're the only person I know that's kind of happy for getting the sack. I says, I know, but come on, Dad, that place was mental. Then I got another job straight away. Listen, I've been really lucky. I've always got jobs straight after another job, and another hairdresser's, and that was fine. Well, was that, but maybe it's me, maybe I'm the problem. I'm starting to think that now that I'm talking. Then this boss decided that she wanted me to be a spy. So again, I was still only a first year junior. I still hadn't finished my full first year yet in hairdressing, and I've had 2 crazy bosses. So I think it was like 6 months into hairdressing or something at this point. And then this boss is like, Aileen, so the girl that, the stylist that I was working with at the time, who was also like the assistant manager, if you want to call her that. I mean, there was only 3 years worked in the shop, so whenever my boss wasn't in, she was basically the boss. She wanted me to spy on her because she'd apparently stole, I think it was like £700 off her in the previously, or maybe it was more than that, I don't know, but it was like a lot of money she'd stole off her. She'd sacked it at the time, then she took her back. Why take her back if you don't trust her? That's my thing, right? So then she was wanting me to spy on her to see if she was stealing money for her. Then she was wanting me to open up and do haircuts. There's my other phone going, I can't be bothered turning that off. She was wanting me to, so she wanted me to spy on her, she wanted me to open up, she wanted me to do haircuts that I wasn't qualified to do yet, when there was nobody there to stand and make sure I was doing things right. I ended up sending a guy home with blood running down the back of his ear one day because I was cutting his hair. No, I didn't know. I mean, I'm not partially blind, but if I've not got my glasses on, I can't see, and I think at that point I wasn't really wearing my glasses that often. So then I phoned up the company that I was doing my training with, and I says, I can't work for them. And she says, how? And I told her, and she's like, right, that's fine. She says, I'll get you somewhere else. And I went, oh no. I says, that's 2 hairdressers I've worked for, and they've both been bonkers. I don't want to work in hairdressing anymore. I says, I don't think it's for me. There's too much bitchiness in it. I'm not into that bitchiness stuff. I just like an easy quiet life. I want to have a laugh, I want to have fun, I want to enjoy myself. I'm 16 because they're all sending me loop de loo. So that was where my hairdressing experience ended for now. Then I just did loads of different jobs. I did eventually go back to college to finish my hairdressing training in my 30s, or my late 20s, early 30s, I can't remember. No, I think it was in my 20s. Oh, I don't even know. I think I was 30, 29, 30, something like that. And then I was caring for my uncle, so I had to give that up. Then, what else happened? I'm not really going to tell you the deep things that are going to happen today. I've said this to you already. So yeah, as you can see, I've had quite a colourful work life. I've worked all sorts of jobs. I've not done the kind of jobs, not the jobs that are not legal. Probably should get into that. I mean, there's more money in it. I'm joking. If you are new, I have a very dry, dark sense of humour, so strap yourselves in. But yeah, the last few months have been grim. And it, like I say, it's been coming for a long time. There's noises happening in my house and I don't blooming know what's happening and I'm terrified. So, bear with me. Like I said, I'm getting there. Listen, I've just had a laugh phase. It's fine. I just need to, I think, talk over my medication I gave me my doctor, maybe, possibly. I don't know. I think my medication's working to the most part, but I think it maybe just needs up to a wee bit. I need to try and speak to a few people, get things rectified. There's a few people I'll never speak to again, and that's okay. Listen, see, when anybody tells you, oh, you can't do that, or you can't not talk to somebody in your family, you can't cut out friends, or you can't just stop talking to people, you can. See, if it's for your own good, you can do whatever you want as long as you're not harming anybody. Me cutting somebody out of my life because they have harmed my life for 30 plus years is me taking control of my life again. And I've said this to my mum. I had this conversation with my mum, I think it was in December, when I cut one person out. I've just recently cut somebody else out, and I said to her, I can't just keep accepting false apologies for people. If that was a romantic relationship, you would tell me to get rid. So why is it okay because it's a family relationship, family member? I said, and this is about me taking control, and this is about me making sure that I don't suffer again. I think that might be a bit better. So this is about me taking control, and if anybody thinks they've been hard done by because I've cut them out of my life, then I will fully tell them why they've been cut out of my life. And I won't do it in a nasty way. You don't have to do it in a nasty way, but you can cut any friends, family, whatever out your life, and it doesn't matter how close they are to you. It can be a parent, it can be a grandparent, aunt, uncle, brother, sister, cousin, child, even if it's an adult child, obviously. If they're harming you in any way, whether it's physically, mentally, emotionally, you either need to sit them down and have a talk with them. If that doesn't work, then you're well within your rights to cut them out until they can rectify their issues. If they don't ever, that's on them, that's not on you. But you have to protect yourself, and this is my time to protect me again. For a long time I've just gone with the flow, I suppose, because I don't see family members an awful lot. I suppose in recent years, I'd say in the last 20 years, I've distanced myself a lot from family, certain family members anyway. So it doesn't make much difference to my life anyway that they're not in it at all now, because like I said, I've made my own family with friends. But I just wanted to let you know, so this is a bit like where is Aileen being a bit like, where's Wally? I'm your Wally. I'm a Wally sometimes. So yeah, I just had to take time for me because I had so much going on and I was doing too much to try and ignore the fact that I needed to deal with other stuff. Then I had complete burnout. I mean, I was sleeping 24 hours a day, 7 days a week near enough. I was literally just waking up to feed the kids. Don't panic, my children are adults, one's 18 and one's 26, so calm down. Like, it's not like wee tots. So I was literally just waking up to feed them and do anything that I had to do for them. Like, take my son to school or whatever, and then I'd be sleeping the rest of the time because I was completely burnt out. My mental health was declining, and I was doing everything to stop myself from thinking, and everything I meant 3 podcasts, which I am still going to do. It's not that I'm going to stop doing that, but I wasn't having any, there was no structure in my day, so I was fitting things in whenever I could, whenever I wasn't sleeping. I was fitting things in, like, say for example, I'd record a podcast on a Wednesday and then I'd be editing it for the next 2 or 3 hours and putting it up whatever else. Then you need to do all your social media content to go with that. Then I was looking for a house. Then I was advertising for my business. Then I was finishing building my website. And then I was doing this. Then I was doing that. Then I was doing my next podcast the next day. And then I was doing, and it just went on. And I had no time to breathe. I had no time to do anything, and I was just so drained, emotionally, physically, mentally drained. And then I'd lie in my bed at night and I'd be like thinking about everything that's just happened. What have people just done to me? What is the things that should have been fixed a long time ago that weren't? Yeah. And I think Danielle's an absolute rock for me. So Danielle, if you're listening to this, I mean, she already knows this, but she doesn't need her head exploded any more than it already is. But Danielle's the one person that I can talk to. Danielle's the one person that knows everything about my life. There's nobody on this earth that knows as much about me and my personal life than Danielle. And she finds it hilarious. There's not a single thing that Danielle doesn't know about my life. And she's very good at giving advice. And she's like me. She's not the type of person that will she's not a yes person. She'll not tell you what you want to hear. She'll tell you what you need to hear. And I do the same for her, and that's true friendship. There's no point in saying to somebody to do something that's going to negatively impact their life. So yes, Aya's back. Now, I'm not going to promise that these are every week again. I'm going to take it week by week. If I feel up to it next week, I'll do another one next week. If not, it might be 2 weeks down the line. I'm hoping that it won't be any more than 2 weeks, but they will eventually get back to you every week, but they might be a bit sporadic. There'll still be a Wednesday, but the actual weeks that they go out might be a bit sporadic for the next couple of weeks, couple of months, whatever it might be, how long it takes. But yes, Aileen is I see a fly or a spider or where did you go? Oh, don't tell me it's on me. Oh dear God. Soz. No into things flying about or crawling about my mic. So yes, I am back again. Some will be thrilled with that, some won't. I'm sorry that it was a bit all over the place, but again, if you're not about mental health, you'll understand why it has been today. And obviously because it's about me, I don't like talking about myself. Again, you're leaving yourself open, aren't you? You're leaving yourself a bit, you're putting yourself out there. And I know I haven't given you away too much, but it's still hard to talk about yourself when it's, and I don't think it matters whether you're talking about yourself in a positive way and I'm not saying I spoke about myself in a negative way, but I'm talking about negative things that were going on in my life. So I don't think it matters whether it's positive, negative, or in between. I think it's, for some people, it's always going to be hard to talk about yourself. But yes, I'm back. We will, I think, me and Danielle are recording our podcast this week, but I'm not 100% sure because I know she's busy with work and with family stuff at the minute. because obviously she's in Turkey and this is their high season, so it's a lot easier doing things with Danielle in the winter than it is in the summer, so I don't know how that's going to work. But anyway, if there's any topic that anybody would like me to talk about, please write into, you can either write into the social media pages, which are Reboot Your Thoughts Podcast, and that's on TikTok, Facebook and Instagram, or you can email into rebootyourthoughtspodcast@gmail.com. If you would like to advertise on the podcast, and it's not just on the podcast, it's all social media pages as well, on YouTube, everything, you can do that. You can email in again about that. If you would like to sponsor the podcast, again, email in. We've got sponsor packages and whatever else. And if you would like to book in for either counselling or coaching, or even just discuss how it works and prices and whatever else, you can either email stop right now, thank you very much, the Reboot Sanctuary @gmail.com, or you can go to therebootsanctuary.com to get all the information you might need. I'm still updating that just now because there's a few things to do with the coaching I need to add in there, but you'll get the gist. But if not, you can email in and I can give you a wee phone call and we can have our initial consultation and have a wee discussion and see what's going on there. But yes, hopefully I'll try my best to get on next week. I'm trying to think what I've got on next week. I don't think I've got any appointments or anything, so that should be okay. I'm hoping I'll have a cardigan next week. I need to get it dropped off because they dropped off to my son's work. He'll fix it for me, hopefully. I mean, he's been supposed to be fixing it since October, but so what that's only 7 months ago. Could be worse, it could be 8 months ago. What else? I think that's really it. My business coaching podcast will be back probably June or July. Don't know. I think at the minute I'm just going to stick, for the next few weeks anyway, I'll stick to this. I'm just coming in baby steps. I don't want to do too much and set myself back again. So Aileen's back. If you need any advice or would like to book in, like I said, email, message, whatever. You can also find the Reboot Sanctuary on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and it is on Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it. But to be honest with you, I'm never on there. I don't know how to work it. It goes right over my head. I think that's really everything today. I just wanted to let you know I was still alive and that this podcast isn't going anywhere. We're still here. And I'm sorry, but I'm back. I'm trying to think of a positive song to sing. I just don't know anymore. Oh, there's a song about that in there. Yes. But I hope you are all enjoying the sunshine. I hope if anybody's going on holiday that you are safe and that you enjoy yourselves. Anybody that is doing exams now, good luck. Do your best. That's all you can do. Results aren't everything. There's always somebody out there that will take you under their wing. And I think I'm going to leave it at that because my mind is just, my head is a blank. But yeah, I'll try and go on next week, and if not, it should hopefully be the following week. But if you keep an eye on social media, I'll try and get back on that as well. Try and update you as much as possible and try and actually follow through with what I say on social media and not just say I'm going to put a podcast up and then don't do it. I swear. I'm my own worst enemy sometimes. But yes, take care, enjoy your day, keep an eye on yourselves and your mental health, keep an eye on everybody around about you that's close to you, keep everybody close. Anybody you don't want around about you, you don't have to. That's my words of wisdom. Don't end up like me because of people that don't need to be in your life. Anyhow, I'm away. I'm away to, what time are we at? We're at 10 to 4. I'm sure within the next half hour I'll have an 18-year-old come in to tell me he's starving. So yes, take care, and I will hopefully speak to you all soon, and enjoy the sunshine. Bye bye.